When people ask how to satisfy a woman in bed, they often expect a simple checklist or a magic move. But the truth is far more interesting, far more human, and far more empowering. Because satisfying a woman isn't about performance or pressure. It's about presence, it's about connection. It's about understanding the kind of intimacy that doesn't just create pleasure in the body, but safety in the mind. And once you understand that, everything changes. I'm the Intimacy Doctor, real talk, real science, real intimacy. And today we're going deep into how emotional intelligence, communication, and real relationship science can reshape the way you show up with a partner, in bed, and far beyond it. Now, before we dive in, just pause and breathe for a moment. Think about what intimacy actually feels like in the moments we remember most, the ones that felt good, grounding, alive. It wasn't just physical technique, right? It was the emotional connection, the feeling of being understood, the sense that someone was really there with you, not just going through the motions. So when we talk about satisfying a woman, we're not talking about tricks. We're talking about attunement. We're talking about creating an environment where her body feels safe enough to open, her mind feels relaxed enough to receive pleasure, and her trust is strong enough to let herself be vulnerable. And if you've ever wondered why communication, safety, and emotional connection show up in nearly every piece of relationship advice, it's because the science consistently shows the more emotionally secure a woman feels, the more responsive her nervous system becomes to pleasure. So let's weave this together. Ask yourself, do I show up like someone who listens? Do I show up like someone who cares? Do I show up like someone who pays attention to the cues beneath the surface? These questions matter not to judge yourself, but to understand how intimacy really works. Because satisfying a woman isn't about pressure to perform, it's about showing up as a present, grounded, emotionally intelligent partner. One of the biggest insights from relationship psychology is that desire is deeply connected to emotional safety. The research of Dr. Emily Nagoski, Dr. John Gottman, and many others shows that the female nervous system responds strongly, incredibly strongly, to the emotional climate of the relationship. When she feels understood, when she feels respected, when she feels your presence rather than your anxiety, her body naturally becomes more open to pleasure. That's not metaphor, that's physiology. Stress hormones drop, oxytocin rises, the ability to feel arousal increases. Her capacity to trust you deepens. So ask yourself gently, do I help create that atmosphere? Because satisfying a woman starts hours before any physical intimacy begins. Sometimes days, sometimes through the consistent behavior of being kind, patient, curious, and emotionally available. Let's talk about emotional connection in a way that's simple and human. Emotional connection is built from micro moments, small signals that tell her, I see you, I hear you, I care. When you acknowledge her feelings instead of fixing them, when you slow down rather than rushing, when you ask what feels good for you, or what do you need right now, rather than assuming you already know. You create a bond that deepens trust, and trust is the foundation of all satisfying intimacy. Without it, she might participate. But with it, she experiences. There's a huge difference there. And if this reflection makes you think of moments in your own relationships where you may be rushed, misunderstood, or acted from pressure rather than presence, that's completely okay. Awareness is growth. Share your thoughts below. What have you learned about emotional connection in your relationships? Now let's move into a second major insight, communication. I know, the word communication gets thrown around everywhere, but real communication is more than simply talking. It's curiosity without ego, it's asking questions without defensiveness, it's offering reassurance without being asked. Research on sexual satisfaction shows that one of the strongest predictors of fulfilling intimacy for women is high sexual communication. And that doesn't mean talking during intimacy in a way that disrupts the moment. It means checking in before, asking during in a gentle way, and reflecting after. It means making space for her to express preferences and boundaries without fear of judgment. It's the emotional energy of we're in this together. And here's the thing, communication isn't just logistical, what do you like? It's emotional. It's saying things like, I want you to feel comfortable, or I'm here with you, or you don't have to rush anything. These phrases calm the nervous system. Think about how good it feels when someone reassures you. Women experience the same thing, and often more intensely, because the pressure society puts on women around desire, pleasure, and performance is enormous. When you become a safe space, you unlock emotional intimacy that directly fuels physical intimacy. If this resonates with you, hit that like button. It really helps more people find thoughtful relationship content like this. Now, for a third insight, presence. Presence is everything. Presence is the ability to slow down, feel the moment, and actually notice your partner. Presence is not rushing to the next step. It's not thinking about performance. It's not acting from fear. It's paying attention to her breathing, her body language, her expressions. It's noticing when she softens, when she tenses, when she relaxes, when she leans into you. Most people underestimate how much the body communicates nonverbally. Relationship science shows that couples who practice present moment awareness, essentially mindfulness within relationships, report significantly higher intimacy, satisfaction, and erotic connection. To be present, you don't need to meditate in silence for 30 minutes. You just need to put your attention on the person in front of you. Slow your breathing. Let go of any script in your head. Let go of trying to impress. Just be with her. Because here's a secret many people never learn. Women feel presence as pleasure. Presence creates safety. Safety creates arousal. Arousal creates satisfaction. It's a chain reaction that doesn't start in the body. It starts in the nervous system. And this leads to a fourth insight, emotional attunement. Attunement means tuning in. It means noticing the subtle emotional signals when she's excited, when she's anxious, when she's uncertain, when she's confident. Attunement means you're not forcing intimacy into a moment that doesn't feel right. You're co-creating a moment together. Studies from attachment theory show that people who feel emotionally attuned to their partners have deeper intimacy, more fulfilling relationships, and higher sexual satisfaction. So, if you're wondering how to satisfy a woman in bed, start by satisfying her emotional need to feel seen. Ask reflective questions like, how can I support you better? Or is there anything you've been wanting but didn't know how to say? This isn't about insecurity, it's about partnership. It's about building a relationship where both people feel safe enough to express their desires honestly. And here's something powerful. When a woman feels emotionally attuned to her partner, her desire becomes more spontaneous, more open, and more organic. So often, people confuse lack of desire with lack of connection. But in many cases, desire isn't missing, trust is. Emotional attunement rebuilds that trust. I'd love to hear from you. What does attunement mean in your relationships? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's bring in a fifth insight, creating an atmosphere of psychological safety. Safety doesn't sound sexy, but it's one of the most important parts of satisfying a woman. Safety means she doesn't feel rushed. She doesn't feel judged. She doesn't feel like her pleasure is a performance. She doesn't feel like she has to mask discomfort. Safety allows vulnerability. Safety fosters honest communication. Safety lowers anxiety. And anxiety is one of the biggest blocks to pleasure for women. In fact, research consistently shows that when a woman feels anxious or disconnected, her ability to feel arousal decreases dramatically, even if she wants to feel it. So, satisfying a woman often means creating a space where she can relax into her body, rather than retreat into her mind. And psychological safety is built in everyday moments, the softness in your voice, the patience in your tone, the willingness to slow down, the reassurance that she doesn't have to be anything other than herself. When you create safety, intimacy becomes effortless. This is where deep connection happens, not just physical, but emotional. And that emotional connection becomes the heart of satisfying intimacy. So let's weave this all together. How do you satisfy a woman in bed? You satisfy her by seeing her, by listening, by being a partner, not a performer. By cultivating emotional connection, communication, presence, attunement, and safety. The science supports all of this, but so does lived human experience. The couples who thrive sexually are the couples who feel emotionally secure together, the couples who communicate with curiosity rather than pressure, the couples who slow down, breathe, and pay attention, and you can build that no matter where your relationship starts. Before we wrap up, let me ask you, what insight landed with you the most? Do you feel more curious about emotional connection, about communication, about presence? I'd love to read your reflections in the comments. Your experiences help others grow too. And if this conversation speaks to you, or if you want more videos about intimacy, trust, emotional connection, and relationship science, hit the like button so more people can discover content that actually helps them understand themselves and their partners. And of course, be sure to subscribe to The Intimacy Doctor and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video on intimacy, relationships, and emotional health. If you want to go even deeper into building trust and emotional connection, the heart of satisfying intimacy, watch the next video I've linked. It expands on how emotional safety transforms desire and closeness in ways most people never realize. I'll see you there.